Hello, this is the whole Phantom from YouTube, and this is my review of Bioshock Infinite. Let's start off with the characters, as they make up a good part of the game. First up is Booker DeWitt, our protagonist. Booker is a rough around the edges, roguish type, and a man of violence. In game, you find out that he was in the army at the Battle of Wounded Knee before being hired then fired from the Pinkertons for excessive force. He then later fell into drinking and gambling, which is relevant, as it eventually leads up to Bioshock Infinite, as his debtors from the gambling tell him, "Bring us the girl," and wipe away the debt. Next up is Elizabeth, the so-called damsel in distress. Yet in reality, she is a rough and brash young girl who, while innocent, is also clever and conniving. She has the unique ability to open up tears in reality. She functions in-game as a follower and support character, who supplies you with health, ammo, money, and salts, which is powers for your vigors, but more on them in a minute. Then finally, we have our antagonist, Zachary Hale Comstock. Now, he is a mystery, slowly unraveled inside the story and backstory of the game. His intentions are unknown, his purpose are unknown. That's great English. His purpose is unknown, and his goals are unknown. Now, on to the gameplay. This is a game that you, play. Now, on console, I can't speak much, as I don't own the game for console, nor have I played it on console. But I do know that it runs at about the equivalent of the medium preset of graphics for computer, and its layout is about what one would expect from a semi-first-person shooter game. The PC version, however, I do own and play quite frequently. First up is the graphics. There are 4 presets, low, medium, high, and ultra, which is good, a lot of variety. And alternatively, though, one can turn off the presets and alter each graphics function individually themselves. Next up, difficulty. Now, this is a bit of a shame. Bioshock Infinite did not do the difficulty very well, as even the hard difficulty isn't that hard. And I can beat the game, only using the 2 pistols inside the game, the broadsider pistol and the hand cannon, in under 15 deaths. On normal difficulty, under 5, and on easy, in 0 deaths. The only game mode that gives me really a challenge is the aftergame unlock 1999 mode, and in that mode, I'm more likely to give up and stop playing than I am to finish the game. Now onto the gameplay itself, which I should have gone over first. But if you're running the game on the correct graphics settings, it should be smooth and fluid, as with any game. But and also, first up of the gameplay is combat, and because that's like 99% of the game is combat. Combat on harder difficulties is a joy, as enemies flank you, gang up on you, use cover, and just generally use tactics overall. Enemies are varied in tactics, weaponry, and appearance, so it's not just the same old wave after wave of enemies attacking you. And then there are demi-boss enemies, but I won't spoil those, only tell you that they are also semi-unique and tough to beat. Then controls. How do they work out? Well, like I already said, on console, it's just about what one would expect. But on PC, the key bindings are a bit odd, so I'd recommend finding your own key binds, finding a layout that works for you. But other than that, combat is a joy. Now on to the bare bones of the combat. Weaponry and vigors. Weapon options are extremely limited. There's only like 5-6 types of guns, and which makes about 12 variants. And you can only have 2 weapons at a time, so it's even more limited, which is really bad. If they allowed you to have all the guns at once, I'd really, really enjoy this, but no. And vigors, which are so-called magical powers, is inside the game, are powered as a substance known as salts, which you can find varied throughout the game. And vigors you can possess all at the same time, but you can only use 1 to 2 actively. And that's about all I have to say for Bioshock Infinite, really. It gets my seal of approval, but I'd recommend renting it before buying to see if it's your kind of game. Hello, Phantom?